next
Fortnite's
week's
problem.
Okay, I got a riddle for you. What is a really bad superhero movie that starts with Madam and ends with Web?
Catwoman with Halle Berry.
It's Madam Web, dude.
Whoa! It's Madam Web, dude.
Oh my god!
It's webbing time.
It's Madam time.
Ooh.
So if you haven't already guessed already, we're talking about Madam Web.
I'm wearing a shirt for the occasion.
He's wearing his Spider-Man
To
shirt.
audio listeners, that implies I'm not normally wearing a shirt.
Well, I mean, they can see the video now on Spotify.
That's
so
true. You can see the video now on Spotify,
Yeah.
so you can check that out.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know. I'm feeling a bit saucy.
You feeling yourself today?
It's like you were just saying how it's not very warm today.
Yeah.
And I laughed, and then we turned off the fan, and now it's
I'm
really
already
warm.
getting a little sweaty.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is not going to be a fun one. Anyways,
It's not going to be a fun one for other reasons as well, just so we're clear.
There's one big reason why it's not going to be a fun podcast.
Madam Web fans, all two of you, this is your time to leave.
Yeah. Stop the podcast, turn off your phone, and
Or
throw yourself off a bridge.
Just turn down the volume and keep it playing so we get those good metrics. you
yeah,
know?
I mean, if you could like hit the like button as well, like even if you didn't like it.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. Just like goes on forever.
But please hit the bell for notifications.
Please hit the bell for notification. 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Like, just...
Let's do it.
Okay, Madam Web.
All right, let's do it.
We watched it.
We didn't watch it together.
We didn't watch it together.
So last
no.
week Madam Web just came out and we're like, we should watch it and talk about it on the podcast. And we both groaned.
Can I
for
just
at
say
least-
this is the worst thing we've ever done, like for the channel?
not the Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
No, I stand by that was the best thing we've ever done. That's our magnum opus. Watching
Yeah.
this movie was the worst thing I've ever had
Yeah.
to do for this channel.
What's the opposite of a magnum opus?
A magnum undus. I don't know.
Rock bottom. We've hit rock bottom, baby.
I feel like we have.
Yeah.
Like from SpongeBob, that one episode where he goes to...
when he goes to rock
bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that one.
feel like that.
It's a bit of deep cut reference
That's
for
a
you.
very deep cut.
That's a good
SpongeBob.
episode.
It probably is. Stop.
Okay, so where do you
doing
want to
that.
start with Madame Weber?
I was writing up my notes a couple days ago, and I just started off with, it's not good, and then I stopped.
I actually
That's
was
a lot.
writing notes like in order while I was watching
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so did you watch it in the movies?
Yes.
Okay.
I did go to the movies
Yeah.
and watch it.
Okay, that's good.
Yep, I
Alright.
definitely did.
You didn't like download it.
I wouldn't
not-
even know how.
Well, I watched it in the cinema.
How many
with my
people were in the
partner.
cinema with you other than your
There
partner?
was like 4 other people.
Whoa.
It was
packed
not
session, man.
Yeah, it was packed. It was like a 1:00 session.
In the morning?
No, in the afternoon.
Oh, well.
Imagine.
Imagine.
But
Madam
yeah.
Web at midnight.
Actually, that'd be pretty good.
No, it wouldn't.
If it was a good movie, it would be.
I mean, yeah, but sure.
But yeah, we watched it in the cinemas at South Bank because we wanted to pay the least amount of money.
Me
for
too.
This movie. Yeah. Okay.
I certainly think I paid the least amount of money possible for this
okay.
movie.
Yeah, $0 whole dollars.
Oh, well, it came out of my internet bill, I suppose.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I liked it.
You're lying.
I did not hate it as much as I expected
Yeah.
to. I thought it was going to be like the absolute worst thing I've ever watched in my
Yeah.
life. It wasn't.
That's what the internet was kind of making it out.
That's what
to
all
be.
what all the other white male podcasts are saying.
Yeah.
We're different. We're saying we hate it just a little bit less
Yeah.
than those other
We
white male
still
podcasts.
very much did not like it.
I have a lot of thoughts.
I have notes too, which you can't see,
Yeah, well, yeah,
but like
he wrote 2 pages of notes.
whole 2 pages.
He's
of
learning how to
notes.
write, and this is what he's doing.
I can do it, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I was
It's
expecting.
not the worst thing I've seen in the world.
I think the opening was really bad. I think that like the
Yes.
opening of the film was really jarring and really awful, and I went, "Oh, for fuck's sake, really?" But against all odds, about like halfway through the movie, I actually found myself like weirdly enjoying it. I like stopped taking notes, and I went, "Oh yeah, that was a good like 5 minutes of me like
Which 5 minutes were you
actually
enjoying?
watching the movie." I don't remember.
Well, that bodes well. For
I
this.
think there are some cool concepts in here.
There definitely
that have
are.
been like overshadowed by all the shit.
and by the them not doing anything
And
good.
this poor director, CJ Clarkson, this
Yeah.
is her first feature film that she's
Actually.
ever directed, has come off directing episodes of like Succession and Jessica Jones and like all of these other shows that are really, really good.
Yeah.
And then this is the movie that kickstarts her like theatrical career. That's
stinky.
rough, buddy.
That's unfortunate. I do want to say the editing of this movie was
Most of these notes are about editing.
yeah.
Like
I'll talk
and
about-
sound mixing.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that.
Oh.
Let's talk about the big one, because this will come up in some movies that I've seen, the ADR, especially with
So-
the villain.
Yeah, that poor
Yeah.
man. What's his name? Tahir Rahim, I think his name is the actor.
The actor,
Yeah. I'll put that on the screen if that's wrong.
Please do.
I really hope that's right.
Yeah.
That would be so racist if that was wrong.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna look it up right now just to make sure.
Maybe that's a good idea. He's French, isn't he? Or something like that? Or he's a native French speaker or something?
Yeah, he is a French actor.
Yeah.
His breakthrough. Yeah, Tahar Rahim. He is a French actor. He was recently in Napoleon, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With what's his face? Joker. Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
No, Jared Leto.
My favorite Napoleon.
That poor man has had to bear so much of the backlash for this movie,
Yeah.
quite undeservedly.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of people be like, "Oh, even his ADR lines are garbage," and I'm like, "Yeah, I feel like his entire part was rewritten in post production."
It feels like it.
And
hey?
all of his effort that he put into being on the movie set
Yeah.
was just completely abolished.
Yeah.
And he had to just record ADR for his entire part. I'd half-ass it as well, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'd get in there and be like, "No way, come back," in the hopes that they like capture some of my
I've got to kill
original
them
performance.
before they kill me.
The women are after me, and he like scratching his face so you can't see his mouth
Yeah.
properly. Yeah, and like there are whole sections where like his assistant, whose name I never learned.
No.
I don't think they say
I
it
don't
in
think
the
they say
movie. Nope, she's in quite a bit of it,
Yeah.
and you see her face quite a lot because they're cutting away from him.
Yeah.
where he like his mouth moves like he said like go get them, but he goes, "We must stop them at all costs." Like, and it's messed up, man.
Yeah,
and like
it's-
I feel for the sound mixers because
It's partially their fault.
they know it's bad though, right? Like
Yeah.
they didn't look at it and go, "Yeah, that's good."
That's gonna do.
They didn't do that, did they?
But like, how do you record? Because a lot of the dialogue was him in his room or his house.
Yeah.
How do you record the sound so poorly that you have to ADR over that? That
No,
should
I-
be a well-controlled
I
environment.
don't think that it's the sound that was the problem. I think the script was different and they needed him to say. So I was reading about this, apparently, and I don't know if this was something like a fan made up or I don't know if this was an official thing, but like Dakota Johnson and a bunch of other people have commented on the fact that like the script was changing while it was filming. Apparently, and if this isn't true, I fucking wish it was.
Yeah.
The original intention of the film was that she would be protecting a heavily pregnant Mary Parker.
Yeah.
While Ezekiel tried to track her down and kill her before she gave birth to Peter Parker.
That is a much cooler idea.
That's a much cooler idea, right?
That's so cool. And like, imagine if like Ben got in trouble.
Yeah.
And it was like
Yeah.
that would have been
Right?
so much cooler.
And then you could have had Emma Roberts in more of the movie because she's great.
Yeah.
Well, she was only in like 2 scenes and she got to go, "What's his name?"
I can feel him crawling around in there or whatever she
Ben
says.
can't wait to be an uncle. But like,
It's annoying because you have like 3 really good actors like Dakota Johnson, Adam Scott, and Emma Roberts.
Roberts, yeah.
And
they're in this movie.
they have to be in this movie.
And I will say, Dakota Johnson's been getting a lot of hate. I get it. Like,
Yeah,
as
I
in
get it
from
too.
her perspective.
Yeah.
Like, I think she changed management and representation after her check had
Did she
cleared
like
for this movie.
fire her agent?
Yeah. Which,
I get it.
fair enough.
Because
And
they were told they were going to be in the MCU, right?
Allegedly, yeah. Allegedly, it read very much like they're going to be in the MCU.
Yeah.
And ooh, buddy, that's rough.
Well, there's like an interview, Sweeney's like, I'm so excited to be in the MCU. It's such an honor. You're like,
Oh, post stud of aged like milk.
like I don't know what to tell you, buddy. But
Yeah, so I do feel for the actors in some sense.
Yeah.
Because Dakota Johnson is a good actor.
Yeah.
And that is not represented in this film.
she tries pretty hard in this film to
I don't
carry
think
it.
she's trying at all.
No.
Which also speaks to the fact that she's still engaging to watch.
Yeah.
But she's working with a script that is just like fucked out of its
Garbage.
mind. Yeah, so you know that movie Morbius? Yeah, I'm thinking we bring back the same writers from the Morbius
was the same
movie.
writers, hey.
It was.
That's a choice.
Who did that? we want to have a consistency in our movies. Bring back the people who did Morbius. What the fuck?
How do you go to like one of your worst rated films ever and be like, yeah,
Let's get the writers
that's
from
the
that.
guy.
The one with the shirtless Matt Smith dancing? Yeah, let's get those writers.
I was pretty happy with
Best
that.
part of the movie.
Best part of the movie.
I've never seen the movie.
Me neither.
Best part of the movie. But like, I think I saw a lot of reviews of this comparing it to Morbius, as in saying things hyperbolic bullshit like this movie makes Morbius look like The Dark Knight. And I'm like, I haven't seen Morbius, but what I have seen of Morbius, I think I like this better.
Yeah,
because at
really?
the very least, if that like theory is true that it was about Peter and everything,
Yeah.
like at the very least, there is an interesting concept somewhere underneath. When I heard they were making a Madam Web movie, I was like, okay, intriguing.
Yeah.
I'm going to see how this plays out. And then I unfortunately had to see how it
You
played
saw it
out.
played out.
But like,
Yeah.
I think there's actually an interesting concept here.
Yeah, I think
that
so too,
Went
yeah.
unexplored.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I was watching an interview with the director
Yeah.
talking about why we didn't see the origins of the other three Spider-Women in this
Yeah.
movie. The movie ends and they're just still normal people.
They don't have their powers yet.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
And the director was like, yeah, we didn't want to get greedy with the origin stories, which translates to, we want to make 3 more movies with each of these women as the
Yeah.
leads and do those as origin movies.
I can see them doing a Sydney Sweeney movie.
I could not see Sydney Sweeney doing it.
You don't think they want to cash around the hype of Sydney Sweeney? At the
I don't
moment?
think she wants them to do that.
Oh, really?
I don't know. She seems pretty out on the whole thing too.
Oh, okay.
Also, I'm going to put it out there. I know this is controversial. Not a good actor.
No.
Like, I've said that to people and they've gotten really mad. And I'm like, she's been playing the same character that she played in Euphoria in every single production she's ever been in since.
Like anyone but you.
Yeah, she's just this dead-eyed, emotionless, monotone presence that like sucks the life out of everything she's in, like a fucking vampire.
I don't think the acting from like any of the teenagers was good.
No, I actually liked the other 2 actors. I think they did all right. But I think Sydney Sweeney and to an extent Dakota Johnson really brought that down.
Yeah.
But I think the 3 girls, Dakota aside, I think they had good chemistry together.
They definitely had good chemistry.
I think
together.
they were fun
I'll
to
take
watch.
that.
When they were left in the woods after she kidnapped them and sent them to the woods to be alone for the night, and then drove away in her stolen car.
Yeah.
This movie's weird,
Goes away to Peru and ditches them.
Holy shit! We'll get to Peru. But like when she abandons them in the woods, these 3 teenage girls, and they're having that little chat, I was like, oh yeah.
I get it.
This is fine. They go to the diner. They make some dumb choices. I didn't like the dumb choices, but I think the dialogue between them was pretty fun, and like the actors were doing all right.
It was fine. I just remember when she's leaving in the woods, and Cassandra is like, "Don't do dumb stuff. Don't be dumb."
Yeah.
And then leaves. I was like,
Dude, you
wow.
said that with more emotion than was in
she
the
did.
actual movie. It was, don't be dumb.
Don't
Like,
be dumb.
also, can we talk about how every fucking character in this movie talks with a rasp in their voice? Every
kind of
character
did.
talks with a rasp in their voice, and it pisses me off.
They kind of did.
Oh, I'm Madam Web.
She never actually says, "I'm Madam Web."
Of course she doesn't. She says it's webbing time, but she doesn't.
I wish.
Oh, that'd make the movie so much better if that final shot of her in her fucking stupid glasses and wheelchair, like, because she got shot in the face with a firework. Yeah, sure. Didn't see that coming. Like,
That's right. She didn't see that.
saw the S from the Pepsi sign at the beginning of the movie when you fell in the water.
Yeah.
Didn't see you getting shot in the face with a firework, though. That seems important to know.
You'd think, right? You know, the thing that's going to blind me for the rest of my life.
Okay, so I
Would be
want
nice.
to talk about the blinding real quick.
Okay.
When she's in hospital, freshly blinded, freshly paralyzed somehow. She's
Yeah.
just paralyzed
What
now.
was she paralyzed from?
Fuck knows. The firework to the face? I don't know. Shut down her
Something
brain.
in the brain, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever's left. That's about Cassandra, not about Dakota Johnson.
Yeah. I mean,
When she's in hospital And they were like, oh my god, Ben's just become an uncle. All of the fun and none of the responsibility. And she laughs and she's like, we'll see.
Like, what do you mean?
She knows what's going to happen to Richard, Mary, and Ben. She knows they're all going to die.
Yeah.
And she's like, we'll see.
We'll see. Just a small little chuckle.
She knows that they're going to die.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's fucking funny.
That's funny stuff.
But also she knows then that they have to die in order for Peter to become Andrew Garfield. Like,
okay, that's my question. Is this set...
Fuck knows, dude.
Which universe is this set in?
This movie takes place in 03.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
thinking.
immediately Toby's out, obviously.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's first movie is 2010. So he would be 7. Tom Holland's first appearance in the MCU was 2018? 16, 17, 18?
So he had
Either
to be
way,
13.
makes the most sense to me that it obviously leads into Tom Holland's Spider-Man with some sliding.
Yeah.
I think Civil War takes place later in the MCU,
like, the MCU
world than
canon,
it does
yeah.
when it came. I don't fucking care.
Who knows?
But it's not going to connect to any Spider-Man. So it doesn't matter.
No, they made a couple of references, but...
A couple of references. Most of this page of notes are all the times they made references.
Yeah.
This is the biggest jerk off in term of like, this movie is just edging you all the way to the end with the promise of, hey, maybe we're going to make another reference to Ben being an uncle.
Yeah.
Ben's so excited about being an uncle. Oh, like, and so on. They say that so many times to some degree.
Yeah.
Fucking, you're a good teacher. Oh, God. I wrote down so many weird lines. My mother actually died in childbirth.
Why is that a weird line?
Because she's at the fucking baby shower. And
Oh,
it's like
yeah,
meant to
that's
be a
right,
happy
yeah.
time. And they were like, what about your mother? And she's like, my mother actually died in childbirth. And I'm like, whoa!
And she's like, but I turned out okay. Some shit like that. That was the first time that she kind of used her powers, right? Or like she could see in the future.
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
happened again. That was so fucking jarring. The editing on that just I didn't realize that was like her powers like kind of activating. I just like I didn't know what it was.
So when I was watching it at
In the movies.
cinema, I thought that I'd got a bad copy of the film. And that's why scenes were repeating. And then
you went to a tampered screening.
felt like it. I felt like I was on acid, dude. I was on cocaine, but it doesn't. Well,
It's different.
It's different, I swear. But like, it felt really, really jarring every time she used her powers.
Yeah.
The only one time that I liked it was when she was asleep and then was at the diner and Ezekiel was there.
Yeah.
And it was like jumping around and skittish. And because it was like kind of like a dream, but it was also a vision. And so
Yeah.
like, I liked that though.
It was like a clear distinction between that
Yes.
this was a vision that she was seeing.
Absolutely, as opposed to every single other time
Yep.
where it just played the scene and then it went, "Arr!" and then it played it again.
It didn't even make like a transition.
No, it didn't. It didn't
just
make
went
a
back
noise.
and played that
it
same
just
scene
literally
again.
cut back to the start of the scene.
Like it happens again when it was so confusing. Like when she was performing CPR, like in the ambulance outside, and then
She killed that man
she definitely killed that guy.
because she saw that he was going to die. And then she stopped him from leaving,
Yeah.
delaying his time to leave. So when he got in the ambulance and drove away,
Yeah.
that truck that was going at 5 miles an hour
It still
and
killed-
kissed the side of the ambulance very gently, it killed him.
Yeah, she killed a guy.
Much like the high-speed chase at the beginning of the movie where the ambulance is weaving through traffic at fucking 6 miles an hour, barely moving,
God.
and it's got like this behind it, and I'm like, the ambulance is barely moving.
No, this is not a car chase.
It's so
whatsoever.
oh god,
man.
the editing decisions on this movie are like
trash.
beyond me. You trash, bro.
You trash, Madam Web. It gave me such a headache, like especially that scene when she falls into the water the first time and all the
On all the
things-
semen.
Yeah, all the cum that's sort of coming out of her. It was
Yeah,
just-
yeah. When we
Weird.
were
Weird that
watching it
happened.
and we saw the web like around her, I was like, looks like cum. And then every other time during the movie, I was like, ah, yes, the cum visions. They're back.
At the end when she's like slinging her cum.
She's got that post-nut clarity.
Yeah, I want to talk about her characterization like a little bit.
What characterization?
Well, exactly. There's nothing
Sorry,
there.
what characterization?
What characterization? That's what she sounds like. That's what they all
It
sound
is
like.
a bit what they all sound like.
Except
yeah.
Adam Scott, who I'm glad is in the movie. It's
Adam
the only
Scott
good
was
thing
the best.
about
Yeah,
it.
there should have been. I look. I was fucking scared when I saw that he was playing a young Uncle Ben, But like,
one, dude.
Thanks, man. I'm coining that.
Young
Adam Scott, call me. When I found out he was playing a young Uncle Ben, I was actually really like worried.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, here we go,
God
whatever. He was the best part of the movie.
He was.
Like, yeah,
He had a good character. His chemistry with Cassandra was good.
yeah.
I guess.
his lines were not delivered like they were written by AI, then generated 18 times over
Yeah.
again through Google Translate into Dutch and back and etc. You know,
Dutch.
I don't know. It's just the first language I thought of.
Why Dutch?
Fuck knows, dude.
Yeah, fair.
Anyway, her characterization.
There's not much of it.
Great.
No, I just thought it was weird that her profession is what are they?
Paramedic.
Paramedic. I knew the word.
Great.
So her job is to save people.
Correct.
Help save people.
Yeah.
But then when she finds the girls, she doesn't want to save them.
Nope.
She leaves them in the woods and just
Yeah.
goes away and doesn't really give a shit
Yeah.
about them.
She's a bad paramedic also.
No, but it looked like she was like relatively competent at her job. Like when she was like taking the guy out of that upside down car.
Yeah. And then she crawled into the part that was hanging over the water and went, no! It's like, well, then crawl back the way you came. Anyway.
I think that's like a shot. Like she asks the guy if she's okay, or she says something to the guy in the car, and then it cuts to another shot of her like trying to pull him out or something.
That whole
Really
sequence was
weird.
very jarringly edited.
Also, about CPR, you don't just do it continuously.
Yeah.
It's 30 compressions, and then you rest for a little bit, and then you do it again, and then mouth shit. But she kept teaching all these girls, you compress and you keep going.
So
If you're
I wanna-
tired, someone else has to do it.
Yeah, I want to talk about the fact that, like, when at the beginning, like, when she's having the vision of the paramedic dying,
Yeah.
she's doing CPR and then she stops and, like, looks around for a while and then starts doing it again and stops. And I'm like, that man is dying!
Help him!
Fucking keep going! Blow into his mouth!
Well, maybe she did the 30 compressions and then stopped for a bit.
I would like to say I had a comment about the Diary of a Wimpy Kid episode where I talked about, like, how the two men kiss and the
Yeah.
music gets scary when he's trying to give him mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
I made a comment about, like, don't you have to hold the nose? And
Yeah.
someone kindly reached out and said, no, that's like an 80s thing. You don't do that anymore. You just
just
open
do it
the
over the
mouth, and,
mouth.
and just blow, yeah.
I think you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him a little kiss.
Give him a little smooch.
But yeah, and then she teaches them CPR just for no reason. Just
It's
for no
just
reason.
to link it up to the end of the movie.
To the finale, yeah, exactly.
Seamless.
I wrote down that wasn't foreshadowing, that was two shadowing.
Good one, dude.
I actually stole that from a video that I watched. Do you know the pitch meeting videos with Ryan George? No. It's like he is like playing like a studio exec and like a writer, and it's like, so have you got a new Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man for me? And he's like, yes sir, I do. And it's like, and it's him like pitching, like it's fucking hysterical. That channel is so good. I watched the Madam Web one.
Yeah.
And like he made that joke. He's like, oh, nice 3 shadowing, and he's like 3 shadowing, and he's like, because it's not quite foreshadowing. And then later on in the video, he's like, oh yes, from the 2 shadowing. Like it got me
that's
good.
very good. You
I
have to
wrote
show
that
me
down.
that.
Yeah, it's fucking funny, dude.
Should have just stolen a joke.
No, I can't steal. I love Ryan George. Shout out Ryan George. His videos are so fucking funny.
You have
Like,
to show me.
I love them. I'll show you after this.
Send it to me.
I will.
Thanks, man.
But we're recording right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine.
But yeah,
Cool.
I just wrote down so much shit.
I wrote down a lot of stuff.
This movie makes me feel like I could succeed as a screenwriter. It's something I wrote down on
It's
this
a very
paper.
low bar. They've set the lowest of bars, I think.
I do want to say that fucking sequence where she just is suddenly in Peru. Like, what the fuck was that?
What happened there?
She's like, Ben, watch these girls. I have to go do something. And it fucking cuts to Peru. In that same pitch meeting video for Mountain Web, he's like, so she goes to Peru and he's like, to find the spot where her mother died and she was born. And he's like, how does she do that? Like with a GPS? And he's like, no, with a photo of a tree.
She finds the tree so quickly.
In the middle of Peru.
In the middle of like
and that photo was taken, 30 years ago?
Yeah. Insanity. She was also wearing like just a singlet.
Yeah.
As a shirt in the rainforest.
Hey, I mean, that's like a one-piece move, you know? Like, they go to like an island of giants and prehistoric animals and Nami's just in a bikini.
Yeah, but that's an anime.
Then she gets sick from that. So
Well, there you go.
at least that's consequences, you know.
Yeah, like she's wearing jeans, which is good, but like you're gonna get bitten on the
Peruby
arm.
muggy, like. But like, I will say, really, I'm torn. No, I changed my mind mid sentence. I like the design of the spider people.
I liked Ezekiel's design, his Spider-Man
suit
outfit.
No, I fucking care. So Ezekiel.
Oh, you kept that handy, didn't you?
It's just the shelf behind me. So Ezekiel is actually kind of more like a hybrid, I guess, between two characters from the J. Michael Straczynski run of Amazing Spider-Man. He's a little bit of... I want to find that one perfect shot. Oh, that's the 9/11 issue.
Oh, sure.
There's an issue where Peter causes 9/11. No, but so there's...
He's driving the plane.
There's two characters in this run. There's Ezekiel, who is, you know, pretty much exactly as depicted in the movie, wears a suit and no shoes and sort of swings around. He has spider powers, but not like Peter. I was just trying to find like a picture of him, but I just can't for some reason. He's in so many issues of this book.
Find it, dude.
Okay, I will.
Come on, hurry up.
Yep, there you go.
This is a podcast
No, that's Aunt
we're
May.
recording.
Anyway, I was just trying to find a photo to show you. But, like, basically, I feel like
wasting our time.
he's a combination of two characters from that run. There's Ezekiel, and then there's a character called Morlun, who's a vampire who hunts down... Yeah. Well, vampire's not the right word, but that's the easiest way to explain it. He's hunting down Spider-Man because Spider-Man is the spider totem. And it's this whole, like, mythology thing. Like, Peter was meant to be bitten by the spider because every Earth needs a spider totem. Yeah. And Ezekiel knows this, and he's trying to help Peter. Morlun is actually then the force behind Spider-Verse, the original Spider-Verse comic. I say original, it's 10 years old now.
Yeah.
He goes to every universe killing every spider totem. Yeah. So he's hunting them down to save his family and himself. Very similar to Ezekiel's.
Is that what happens in the movie, the Into the Spider-Verse?
No.
Can't remember.
No, Morlun was not in it, which was a shame. Yeah. Very similar to what Ezekiel's motivations are in the Madam Web movie. So he's kind of like a combination, and they both appear in the same story, Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, number 30 by J. Michael Straczynski.
Yeah.
Actually, this is my shit, man. Comics are my
Wow, I couldn't tell.
Who could tell?
Yeah.
But yeah, so their motivations are really similar. Which at that point just make it Morlun.
Yeah.
Way better.
That's a way cooler idea.
This fucking like buff, like Victorian looking vampire dude.
Yeah.
Probably too similar to Morbius in some for a general audience, I guess.
Yeah.
Or make it Ezekiel and make him hunting down a pregnant Mary Parker.
That's to
stop Peter Parker from being born.
That's a way cooler idea. And then,
you want your Spider-Man link? There's your Spider-Man link.
Easy done. You just got the Spider-Woman instead, which was just such a waste of an opportunity.
Well, just make it one Spider-Woman. Yeah. Just make it Julia Carpenter. Just make it Maddie Franklin. You don't, or I guess Anya Karazin. I guess, or like just make it one Spider-Woman. Yeah. Don't make it three. That's too many.
That's too many.
It's too many, and especially if you're just gonna like cock tease us with their origins and not actually show it.
No, you see them getting their powers in the Vision, but that's it.
Yeah,
you don't see them get it at all throughout. And I was just waiting for them to get it in the movie, and it didn't happen.
So what would have been more interesting to me, at the very least, is he's tracking them down to stop them from killing him, and in doing so, he causes them to get their powers. Yeah, which then. He's fulfilling the vision. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's fulfilling the vision by trying to kill them. And then maybe he doesn't die at the end. Maybe he escapes. Yeah. And like that,
something way cooler.
Like, yeah.
I kind of wish Madam Web was blinded like halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
A lot earlier. I think I would have thought that would be really cool and like added a bit more stakes to this stakeless story.
Absolutely.
There's no meat in this story.
That'd be hard for her to drive the taxi around though.
What, drive it into the building which Ezekiel jumps up into?
He got hit by cars twice in this movie. She stole a taxi, ran into him at the diner, stole an ambulance, lots of problems there, and then ran him over, like, through the building at the end of the movie, like, hit him with the ambulance.
Doesn't she hit him with, hit in the diner with the taxi?
And nearly lands on the car that's carrying Ben, Mary, and the three girls.
What was the plan there? Well, what was the thinking? I don't know.
The plan? You haven't seen Nathan For You.
No.
You should watch Nathan For You.
I will.
Okay.
I have a note here that says they fucked up with the whole great power comes great responsibility part.
Oh, you mean the line where they say, when you take on responsibility, great power will come.
They had one job.
All of the fun and none of the responsibility.
Well done, guys. So I have a question. Are all those spider people,
No.
are they...
Go on.
I was going to say, are they in the comics? Is that accurate?
So this is why I like the design of the spider people,
Yeah.
but I don't like the concept of the spider people.
Yeah.
Because that, to me, and this is why this is one of the reasons I'm not a fan of the Amazing Spider-Man movies with Garfield.
Yeah.
Because they like mythologize Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They make it like, in those Amazing Spider-Man movies, the idea is like, no, Peter, only you could have been bitten by the spider.
Yeah.
Because we used your blood. Your father used your blood to do... I hate that. I hate that shit. The whole point of Spider-Man, the whole reason that he's so enduring is because it could be anyone.
Yeah.
That's the reason that a character like Miles Morales is so popular.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man can be anyone.
Yeah. You can
Not in
connect
this
with
universe.
person. No. You're like a mythological being in this universe.
Yeah, and it's like... and that is represented in this movie by those spider people.
Yeah.
And them having these spiders that give you superpowers. And like...
Yeah.
And I'm like... The Maguire movies do it perfectly. He's out. He's looking at genetically modified spiders. One bites him. Done.
He's Spider-Man.
It's an accident.
Yeah.
And again, like comic writers have tried to make it like a fated thing, or they've tried and it's never goes down well.
No.
It never goes. People are divisive on the J. Michael Straczynski run because he, by introducing Morlun and Ezekiel, he's kind of doing that.
Yeah, like other people are getting bit by spiders. It's more of a fate thing.
Yeah, and they're like, you are the spider totem. And it doesn't go as far as like you were always fated to be bitten by the spider. As far as I remember, I don't think it does.
No.
But a lot of people don't like the run for that reason. And also because it ends with the most hated Spider-Man story ever written. But Straczynski didn't want to write that. So anyway, that's a whole other thing.
But that kind of happens in the Spider-Verse movie, like the latest one, how like in every universe there has to be a Peter Parker or something like that.
Yeah.
There has to be a Spider-Man or some sort of way.
See, but then I think that's fucking funny, because then in one universe it's a T-Rex whose name is Peter Parker. And like, I think that's fucking hysterical.
That is funny. But like that kind of adds to the whole mythological thing that it's fate that there's a Peter Parker or something.
It's not something that's done a whole lot anymore, because I think general audiences are a bit like, okay, that we don't like that. Yeah. So I think they stay away from it as much as possible. But this movie really like enforces that in a way. And I suppose it would kind of enforce it if it was the Peter Parker plot as well, but less so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if that has any legs. I don't know if that's something that someone just made up and put out into the world. I don't know if that's actually what the plot of the movie was going to be. Make a lot of sense if all of Ezekiel's lines were dubbed over, because he was talking about the Parkers.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can't have that in the final movie.
It just would have been such a cooler idea, and then you could really like utilize Emma Roberts and Adam Scott a lot better. Because like without that plot line, they're kind of pointless.
They are, yeah.
Like, what does having Emma Roberts in the movie serve? Like, just that action sequence near the end.
Also, fucking funny that her water breaks. They get in the car to go to the hospital, which looks like the car that Uncle Ben drives in the old Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
First of all,
that was cool.
That's
I guess
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Madam Web goes to the house, looks through the window, sees water on the floor, and goes, "She's giving birth." Doesn't think
any puddle of water.
Someone's just pissed on the floor. Oh, someone's just spilt water on the floor. Oh, someone was crying. Like, no, it was immediately like her water burst.
I suppose if you're a paramedic, you might know.
But then also steals the ambulance.
Yeah.
And I know the ambulance was there to get her, and she wasn't there, so I guess
it's fine. Also, why did the girls go with him?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, why did they... I don't know. They just made a lot of decisions to get themselves caught.
They were safe in that house for the past week while she was in Peru.
Yeah.
Why did they leave?
They're also safe in the woods. Why did they leave to go to the diner? Also, what job does Ezekiel have that he has access to all the cameras in... I'm guessing it's New York.
Well, because he fucked that FBI... that NSA agent. I think that's how he gets the access.
Like, there's no backstory into like who he is, what his job is.
No,
like,
he's just
he
there.
does. He's just.
Why
there.
does he have a Spider-Man suit?
Yeah.
Why does he have a Spider-Man suit?
Like, it's not just any suit. It looks like a Spider-Man
It's like a proto Spider-Man suit. Yeah.
Weird.
Why?
I don't know.
And if he based it off the people in the Peru, they're not wearing. They're just wearing like webs. I think that's way cooler.
That did look cool. They had a really cool design. I kind of wish we saw them a bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Well, maybe she could have been in Peru for more than 1 minute.
Yeah, and like kind of learned how to use her powers a bit more.
And she went back in time in her mind and was like, my mum wasn't a bad mother.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that
cool.
was so dumb. Oh, my mum was a good person. Damn.
Can I just say the thing that broke my suspension of disbelief the most, though?
Yes.
The thing in this movie that made me go, oh, no way, this movie's so unrealistic.
Yeah.
A bird flies into her apartment. It sits there calmly.
Yeah.
And then it flies straight out the window again.
Yeah, that's
to me ruined it. That bird would have shit everywhere.
Yeah.
It would have knocked everything over. It wouldn't have found the exit.
It wouldn't have.
She would have had to corral it out.
Yeah. I know from first-hand experience that that's not what pigeons do.
No.
Like where I work, pigeons always come in all the time and they hang around.
Give them a fucking burger, dude. They're there for the Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, they come for the display buns.
Do they really?
They actually do.
That's fucking
They're
funny.
like tearing up the low carb super buns.
Really?
Yeah.
Bad choice.
Yeah. We'll cut this out because that kind of gives away where I work.
Oh. Okay.
I don't want to say where I work on the podcast.
Okay. I'll leave it in.
Although most of our viewers probably already know.
That's true.
They're people I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck. Let me go through my notes and see if there's anything.
I don't think I have anything left to say.
No, you don't think so?
No, just the whole thing. Like, the concept is intriguing.
Yeah.
I wish it was executed better.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, like, to be honest, didn't hate it as much as I was expecting to.
I didn't hate it, but like the more I thought about it, there was like nothing redeemable about the movie.
Yeah, it's a very forgettable film.
Yeah.
It's a film that you watch and go, yep.
That
What did you
happened.
give it on Letterboxd?
I gave it a 1.5.
I think I did too.
Because 1 would have to be like, this movie was absolute trash.
I gave a 1 to the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief movie.
Fair.
And I gave this a 1.5.
Yeah.
This is better than Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
That's not a hard thing to do.
And people are going to fucking rage at me.
Yeah, probably will.
Yeah.
I think there was just like nothing. I guess there weren't any characters that straight out like just annoyed me. There was nothing in this movie that was offensive in the slightest.
Well, it's because nothing in this movie had the capacity to be offensive. It was the safest, most studio-mandated film that could have ever existed.
Yeah.
There's nothing in this movie to leave an impression.
No, it's so bland. Like, there's no like character to this movie at all. Like,
I already know what Gordon Ramsay would say about this movie.
what would he say?
It's fucking bland.
Good one, dude.
Thanks, man.
That's a good impression, dude.
It fucking wasn't, but we'll take it.
I'll take it. One thing I just thought of, Ezekiel announces his plans so many fucking times.
Every time he's on screen,
yeah, he's like, I've got to kill these girls before they kill me.
I have to kill these 3 teenage girls who don't even have superpowers yet.
Yeah.
Why not just hang around until they get superpowers?
Yeah.
Why try and kill them when they're just regular people? Then you're just committing murder for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they have powers, you're still committing murder for no reason.
You're killing them
Against
for no
3
reason.
teenage girls. And I say teenage in heavy quotation marks, because, like, Sydney Sweeney's older than we are.
Yeah.
Is
she?
Yeah, she's
How
like
old is she?
28, I think.
Really?
Yeah, fairly sure.
I hate that. I thought she was younger.
I'm fairly sure she was, like, 95. Like, let me check.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney. Oh, never mind. She's 26.
Oh, well, she is our age.
She was born in the same year as me. She's 2 months older than me.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that depresses me.
Yeah, the fact that she can come off as like a high school student, whereas
I'm a high school teacher. Of course I can't pass as a high school student.
yeah, I know.
For no other reason.
For no other reason.
But yeah, look, I'm fucking done with this movie. Have you got anything else to add before we wrap her up and wrap her and tap her?
Wrap her and tap her?
No,
Why did you say that?
I don't know. I
That's
didn't
so
like
weird.
it. I didn't like it
What's
when I
wrong
said
with
it.
you?
Cut it out, dude. Cut it out.
You're editing it. You cut it out. I don't have anything else to say. This movie was pretty low tier.
It's a low tier movie, and I'm glad I saw it.
I'm not.
I think
I'm not. I was going into it hoping like it was a fun bad movie. but it was
Yeah.
just a bad movie with like no character. It was bland. It just
There
it
were
sucked.
there were a few moments when I weirdly found myself being like, oh yeah, this isn't so bad.
That
Like
must be nice.
when they're driving in the ambulance and it's like the three girls in the back and she's driving, I was like, oh yeah, that conversation was kind of interesting. Like, I don't know, there was some
Not
moments.
really.
There was some moments, and again, the concept underneath it all, I'm like, there could have and should have
Yeah.
been something good here.
I feel like the concept of Madam Web is really cool.
Yeah.
Especially like her only power is to see into the future, so she has to think of alternate ways to like
Yeah.
take down a baddie. That's a cool idea.
I wanted to
fucked
see
it.
that done on a really big scale. I wanted
Yeah.
to see, like, I remember S.J. Clarkson, the director, talking about it in an interview before it came out or anything.
Yeah.
And I think she referred to it as like a psychological thriller.
That would have
And
been
I'm
so
like,
cool.
where was that movie? Where was the psychological
that
thriller?
movie.
Where was the psychological? Where was the thriller? Where was any of it? Thriller?
don't-
Hardly know her. You know?
We had to throw that into one episode.
Mamma
Like,
mia!
even if like all of the Spider Women got their powers, and she was like, okay, you guys need to do this, you need to do that, and like help direct them in a fight against him, or
Yeah, like,
help teach
delegating,
them. Like
yeah.
delegating, that would have been cooler.
She kind of did that in the last bit when she's
yeah.
like, Duck!
Watch out!
She kind of did it.
She kind of did, but then she didn't.
My eyes! My eyes! Have you seen the SpongeBob movie?
Yeah, of course I have.
Bald!
eyes.
Bald! My eyes! That was
that's
me
a lot-
watching this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of SpongeBob references in this episode.
I'll throw in one more to end the podcast on.
right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Holy crap, Lois.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks so much, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this movie and podcast more than we
yeah.
did. No,
I
I mean
enjoyed
the
doing the
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's what I mean,
That's what you
dude.
meant. Okay.
It's getting warm in here, dude.
It's actually getting really hot. I think I need to get out.
It's webbing time.
It's webbing time. Bye.
It's rewind time.
It's webbing. It's re-webbing time.
I wish I could rewind to the point in my life before I watched this movie.
I wish I could rewind to the point when we made the decision to record an episode about this.
I wish we could see the future with this delicious can of Pepsi.
It's Milkus.
Milkus.
It is that.
Thanks, everyone. See you later. Bye.
Bye.